ding dong, the witch is dead. We can finally stop pretending the Arkansas Razorbacks are a top 10 football team. I can't believe people fell for this. They beat a bad Cincinnati. They beat a bad South Carolina. They barely beat Missouri State last week. And tonight, even though on the play sheet they had more yards than A&M, but there was a quarter and a half stretch where they were god awful enough to lose that football game. And boy, Casey, I don't like to talk A&M as much as we do, but you guys are super relevant because you played Miami last week and then you had this big win tonight. It was just so wonderful to see.
You know, I tweeted this.
And who told you it was going to happen?
You did.
I did.
You told me. Now, I will say, you know, I would love to have been sitting here and A&M had won by multiple touchdowns and I wasn't sweating it down to the end. Boy, like that doink was, I mean, literally, I think like the football gods, like whatever God you want to believe in, like that to me played into it because that, like, I knew coming down to that, I was like, this can't be easy. And like I've been saying, no matter who the better team is, no matter who the higher ranked team is, no matter who the favored team is, this game in Arlington is always weird. And the biggest play, and there was a lot of things you mentioned, like a quarter and a half where Arkansas couldn't do anything, a lot of injuries for A&M. The biggest thing that happened in that game is one of the weirdest things I've seen in a long time. And that was the fumble by KJ Jefferson when he was trying to leap over the goal line for God knows what reason. I don't
5 yards out.
It made absolutely no sense to me. Like, yeah, exactly. He wasn't on like the half-yard line. He wasn't even on the 1 yard line. So leaps over, then A&M gets the recovery and the guy has the wherewithal to hand it off. Like that, that to me, like watching that happen was like, this is what happens in A&M Arkansas games. This is why it was so crazy. And that went from, that was a 20-point swing because A&M then went with 20 points unanswered, 23 points unanswered. And that was the difference in that game. Now, there are a lot of things that came after that, but I mean, Arkansas, you're going to go up 21-7 and you're absolutely destroying everything that A&M has. The offense couldn't do shit. The fact they didn't have a first down in the first quarter is crazy. The defense couldn't stop anything. When you go into halftime, only up by 1 point, that's not what the 10th team in the country does. And that's coming from somebody who watched A&M lose to App State as a number 10 or whatever team in the country 6.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody after like number 3, it's just, we're going to be doing this all year. We're going to be doing this all year. And it's not that Arkansas is a fraud. It's not that Kentucky, when they lose, a fraud. It's not like, there's just not a whole lot of elite teams. And there's so much parity right now. The COVID, the transfer, everything has created every team. Everybody's pretty much the same after those 3 teams at the top. So this is going to happen. Now, I will say a couple things. The doink off the top is not only a once-in-a-lifetime moment in college football, it's a I've never seen it in football. I've never seen it happen.
It happened earlier this year, actually. Okay,
Jack.
Well, it happened in Wyoming, Tulsa. Wyoming had a shot to win the game, and it went off the –
This is a guy that tweets everything that happens in college football. Yes, okay, it technically happened, but not in a big moment like that.
It was 34-34. It was to win the game.
Let me help you out. Brandon, this is what you were trying to say. It's never happened in a game that you had so much invested in that you would have seen it happen.
I understand. I saw now that he mentions it, I remember it.
I know. I was trying to help you out.
Oh my God! It's a top 10 team. It's a huge clash, and then whatever. It's a twice in a lifetime event, in the span of the last month. Yes.
No. Yeah.
No. You're very sassy just a second ago.
No, it was just more funny that this has happened twice because I'd never seen it prior to this season.
It's 100%. Crazy.
Sassy Jack. It's fine.
We had this conversation like with social earlier when we saw this happen.
That's
someone was like, I think I've seen this before. We had a whole.
That was me who said, I think I've seen this before.
One more thing. Smith, I told you were going to beat Miami. By the way, we're going to get to them later. I told you were going to beat Arkansas. You did. I told you Arkansas is about to lose their next 4 games. They are. But I don't know if tonight was about A&M being all that good. A&M still got a lot of problems. And Max Johnson, like, he's it. Like, he's the best answer they got, but he ain't it either. So it's A&M's weird because Jimbo kind of stinks.
Listen, you are not going to, I would love to have a different attitude and vibe coming into this because they beat Arkansas and Arkansas fans are melting down right now on Twitter, which we knew would happen. But you're right. A&M has a ton of problems. They couldn't get out of their own way. Even whenever they were up, the penalties were terrible. Max Johnson made some great plays and then some horrible missed throws. So there's a lot to digest. I think I take away more so that Arkansas is not as good as they thought they were. And A&M is, being 23rd in the country and beating the number 10 team, they're much closer in ranking, I think, than we thought that they were.
Once again, I told you the top 3 teams. When the SEC West, there's Alabama, and then there's 6 teams that are all the exact same team. And they're going to be beating each other all year.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix the situation with the offense. The defense obviously gave up a bunch of plays. The defense totally stepped up.
I know you fixed it, Casey.
Good. Get another quarterback.
You get a quarterback. I don't know how you.
They have a 5-star quarterback on the roster.
Well, you need to get him ready because that's how you fix it.
You got to call Malachi Nelson and say, "Hey, I know we already offered you $15 million. Let's make that 25."
Because you got talented receivers, you got talented running backs, you got talented everything. You just don't have a quarterback right now.
Here's my question for you.
I don't know how this game didn't go over. I have no idea how this game didn't go over.
Again, weird shit happens in Arlington, always, no matter what. My question for you guys with Arkansas, and coming from, I would love to sit here and dunk all over Arkansas fans, but I can't, even though A&M won, which is great, and I'm going to use that, it's not like A&M was like leaps and bounds better than Arkansas all night. There were definitely moments, but my question is where does Arkansas kind of level out now? Like,
I think they're going to go 8-4. I think they're a solid team. I think they're a good team. I think they're very talented. Here's the thing. You can solve the Arkansas equation at the line of scrimmage on both sides. If you can block them, you can beat them because they suck on the back end defensively. If you can block them up front, you can beat them. They rely on havoc. They lead the SEC in sacks. They're incredible getting after the quarterback. But if you block them, they're beat. And on the other side, if you can keep KJ in the box and stifle his running game, he can't beat you over the top. He doesn't have Treylon Burks. So they're easy to figure out. They're a good team with solid fundamentals that is fundamentally flawed because they can't go over the back end of their offense and the back end of their defense are both problem areas. So they're good. They're just not as good as they wanted to be, and that's fine. And Arkansas fans, you can hate on me, you can call me whatever. I just told you gospel-ass truth. That's the truth.
Well, again, not, we were classier per se in what we talk about with each other sometimes, but the Arkansas fans are doing the opposite of what most fans, every fan would try to find a reason to talk shit right now. There's no doubt. That's the fun part of Twitter. And when you're separating the Arkansas fan base versus Arkansas Twitter or anything, when we talked about it in Knoxville today, Vol Twitter versus the Tennessee fan base, Arkansas fans just can't even wrap their head around the fact that they lost. Like it's crazy what's happening. They can call me whatever, they can call you whatever, they can call everybody whatever. It's like, you still lost the game.
I'm going now just to play devil's advocate. I'd be in the same spot if I was Arkansas fans. You fumbled at the 1 yard line. It turned into a touchdown. And then you had a chance to take the lead with 150 to go against an anemic offense. And the ball went off the top of the post. Like I would kind of just be kind of like, I don't know how I lost that game either.
Yeah, but Jack, what you just said is 10 times better worded than anything I have seen from anyone tweeting tonight. Like,
no,
what you
fair.
just said.
That's fair. You're getting tweeted at. I'm not.
Jack,
what you just said is 100% factual. And I would feel that way too. But if you're going to then come and be like, well, this is what happened, like lay that out as opposed to everything that's flying around on the internet right now. It's like, you guys still lost.
Jack, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Arkansas offensive lineman crying on the sideline after the game went final. Is that I lean toward it's not a make fun of moment because it's a guy busting his ass. And
I know.
But Tebow once cried during the fourth quarter of a SEC championship game in his last season.
I know.
He was memed. He was gift. He was made fun of mercilessly.
Whoa.
And this guy cried in week 4. So what
I
do you think?
I was when he was crying. I was like, "Wait, what's going on?" I
It's
get
week
the
four.
I
It's
get
week four.
But that being said, if we're gonna be kind of somebody that's like, look at these. I hate to be Frank the Tank, but also Oregon State just went up on USC with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Oh God.
That being said, if we're gonna get on guys smiling and make it seem like they don't really care, the crying, maybe this game for whatever reason was really personal. Maybe he had a death in the family. But that being said, yeah, technically should he have been memed? I'm sure Texas A&M Twitter memed him. I'm not sure though. But yeah, 4:41 to go. Caleb Williams will get the ball back. Oregon State just scored a touchdown, 14-10.
All right, so that would be we have two top 10 teams that have lost, Oklahoma and Arkansas, and number 7 USC is in trouble late. One more thing before we move A&M. I don't want to talk about A&M Arkansas very much anymore. We'll circle back to them in a little bit. When you ask the best running backs in the country, you might hear the name Travion Henderson, Bijan Robinson, help me out, Sean Tucker, Mo Ibrahim,
Deuce Vaughn.
But you would rarely hear the name Devin A-Chain, and I'm not sure there's many running backs better than that guy. 8.6 yards a carry tonight against an outstanding Arkansas defense. A-Chain's the fucking truth.
One of the things that he does that's so different, and I mean, I know this is talked about to death as well, but he is an actual like all-American sprinter. So he has that second level that we talk about with running backs a lot. But when you're watching these games, like he outruns every single defender that most running backs couldn't. And we're talking about, like you just mentioned, some of the best running backs in the country that just don't have that sprinter ability to take that next level. Devon A-Chain is unreal. And I know it's, he's in an A&M uniform, and obviously A&M is not as good as they were projected to be. But when you take what he does for that team, like at one point in the first half, he was like the only guy on the field that wanted to win the football game. And because he can take that next step and that speed, he's fucking unbelievable. And I know Aniyah Smith got hurt, and I hope that he's okay. But when you look at the plays that those two guys made in like crunch time in the middle of the game, like that's where A&M's strength is. And Devon A-Chain is obviously the leader of that.